Hi, welcome to my channel. This is actually the very first video that I'm posting to my channel, and the topic of this particular conversation is gold diggers versus wholesome good girls. So the reason for this video is a couple of my girlfriends and I were just discussing like relationships, our past, our present, our experiences, and in comparison to like some other girls that we know that live a different lifestyle than us. And I had browsing like through different videos, and I came across different women that talk about their experiences as gold diggers or sugar babies, girls who have been wives, girls who have been divorced, girls who have just gone through so many different trial and tribulation in their relationships. A lot of women, it seems like typically after some bad relationship experiences, we start off wanting love and, wanting to be appreciated and desired and sought after and chased and all of those things by the man we really love or we really care for. And then sometimes if that doesn't go good, especially a couple of times, you tend to think like, you know what, I'm giving my heart to these men and getting these relationships, and you're not really getting anything out of the deal. And they walk away and move on with their lives. And sometimes for some women that can be very, very hard to do, which is understandably so, especially if you are a very genuine and compassionate woman. It's a challenge to move on from someone you've cared about to starting all over with someone new. So the conversation goes like this, and I want you guys to like, subscribe, definitely make comments, in the comment section about what your feelings are, especially now, regardless of where you are in your relationship status right currently in your life. Why do you think gold diggers get such a bad stigma when these women put themselves, they actually, when we hear that phrase a lot, know your worth. These women tell you what their value is, and they're only going to give themselves over to a certain, and even then it's still limited. They're not going to give you all of them, but what they are willing to give you, you have to invest or pay for in them to receive the benefit of having them in your life, taking them out on dates, having them in your home, having sex with them. Whatever she's offering you, you know up front that you are going to have to invest in her, spend money on her, and do things that she wants to have, things done that she wants to be done, for her, for you to receive that, receive those benefits. Now, the good girls, it's kind of like all emotional. It's not really their attention, their affection isn't based on finance. It's based on them wanting to feel as though the person that they're giving themselves to really cares about them, loves them, is going to be a good potential partner, a good potential husband. Of course, she has things that she wants as well, but she's not putting an actual price tag and attaching it to that a lot of the time. And from my experiences and my observation, I've noticed that, girls who do that typically get the shorter end of the stick. Even if they do get married to these men, if they didn't set a standard, if they didn't set a certain value on what they want to receive and how much they're willing to tolerate, and have things reciprocated to them, they lose. And I think that's one of the major reasons why you have marriage the way that it stands now. Marriage now, you go to, you have your wedding, you have your ceremony, and then you go get your license. And when you get married, you go get your license, and you and this person are now financially registered with the state. So all your assets, your taxes, your property, anything of any kind of value, any kind of monetary value that's accumulated within your union, you actually share a portion of that with the state. And if you separate from each other, then now all of these different things you are going to divide, typically in a court of law. And I think that's where women benefit the most. Because if you are married to a man, if you are having kids with a man, children take such a toll on your body that you're never the same after you go through that experience. And when you go through that experience, it changes you for life. And now you're responsible for another life or multiple lives if you've had twins or more than twins. And you, in my opinion, you deserve, as a woman, as a mother now, to be cared for financially for the remainder of the life of the child. Now, once they become an adult, okay, they're an adult, they can take care of themselves. But while that child is a minor, you need help. You can't just give your child away. You need help. And without that marriage license, the man could just walk away and leave you destitute if he chose to. So it's a method of protection really for the women and the children. I think any woman that any woman that has a child and you didn't marry this man, you're really making a mistake. If you're having children with men and he cannot support you financially, he can't support that child financially, it's a bad call. Because once you have the child, you realize everything is about money. Like, everything that child needs is costing money. Somebody to watch them, there's a fee. Food, there's a fee. Diapers, there's a fee. Wipes, doctor's appointments, powder, soap, shampoo. I mean, everything is now about money to take care of the child. And then you still have obligations as well. So love doesn't take care of all of those things. Only money can do that. So in the conversation with me and my girls, a lot of us are, we've been through these different experiences. And a friend of mine who happens to be a self-proclaimed gold digger was basically saying that's a mindset that women need to take. Not so much just looking at men as an ATM or a walking wallet, but just making sure that when you get involved in a relationship with a man, that he is able to provide for you. Because when he comes into your life, he could possibly cheat on you. He could be lying to you. Most times he is about something. I mean, everybody's lying about something. But oftentimes, because most men, it's not likely for him to just be dating or entertaining you only. So more than likely, he, even if it's not sexual, he may at least be texting somebody or, dating other women. It's possible. It's not always the case. We got some good guys out here, but sometimes it's the case. So you have to be mentally prepared that he could be doing that while you're being faithful to him. And it's just a better call when you're making decisions as far as relationships are concerned, thinking more of the long term and securing yourself, really regardless of your age. Because if a man is enjoying the fruits of your womb, you really shouldn't just walk away with a wet ass. Excuse my language. You really should walk away either with somebody, you should get up off of that bed or whatever you're getting busy on. And you should be with someone that either really cares about you or is in a position to really help and take care of you. If that's not what's going on, you're hustling backwards. Because if you get pregnant, is the man who impregnated you going to give you a place to stay? Is he going to transport you anywhere? Is he going to help you clothe and feed and provide and protect the child? Are you going to have to abort the child? Are you going to have to take a plan B pill after the sex? That could be causing all kind of issues internally with you. You're as a woman, you go through so much, even emotionally, having sex with a man. You go through a lot internally, especially if you're very promiscuous. So you as a woman, there's always this constant toll being taken on you when you give yourself over to a man. So just doing it for the sake of him making you feel loved and making you feel appreciated, all these emotions that make us feel validated, how important is it? Versus this man coming into your life who could possibly be temporary. It's not guaranteed that he's going to be with you forever, but if he is in your life, what is he bringing and benefiting you by being in your life versus what you're offering him? Now, a lot of men will say, well, it's just a sexual thing. But that's something that he wants. He wants sex from you. And if, you happen to be very good at what you do, he's going to keep wanting that for quite some time. What are you getting that you want? And whatever it is that you want that you're getting, is it worth the cost of this exchange? Where you could possibly get diseases, where you could possibly get a pregnancy, with a baby and you be struggling, or, a pregnancy that you don't keep. And you have to go through that process, that turmoil. Versus you being with someone who can give you a good life and be a blessing to you. Because let's be honest, who you get in relationships with really really can set the footing for the next few years of your life. I know women who have been in relationships 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years with men, and they look back when it's all over and they feel like they wasted time. They didn't get what they could have got out of the situation. He's on to the next. And oftentimes, women, it's a lot easier because men don't have the same kind of emotional makeup as we do, especially as it relates to our relationships. They can move on a whole lot quicker and move and get into a whole new situation with a new woman versus a woman doing it with another man. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. So I want you guys to comment, give me your feedback. I'm very interested in this topic because, there's this whole sexual revolution going on with like the slut walk and, women coming out talking about Me Too, their sexual, being sexually violated, and that we're being open about this conversation. And when we talk about the vulnerability of simply being a woman, the very nurturing and maternal aspect we have, and how oftentimes we apply that to our relationships versus coming to our relationships without the need of our emotions being coddled, but being taken care of, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. A lot of women have, and I'll actually, I'll go into a little bit more depth with that. When I mean coddled, if you are a woman and you did have maybe a good relationship with your father, or you've had quite a few failed relationships, in my observations, I noticed that these women tend to be a lot more emotionally needy. They're constantly looking for validation. They're constantly looking for reassurance. They constantly need to be told specific things about themselves so that it will help them feel good about these things. Because as a woman, Your father is the one who validates your femininity. He validates your womanhood. He secures you in that place as a female. So if you grow up without that support, you can literally spend your life looking for it. And if your father, or the men in your life, your father figures, didn't tell you how beautiful you were, how smart you were, what your value was, what your gifts were, what your talents were. Some women seek that information, that validation from the men that they're intimate with. So when a man comes up and say, he's complimenting you, you're so beautiful, you sexy, it does something to her. And she begins to need it because she never really got it. And that is a consequence of not having enough self-love. And sometimes we have to train ourselves, and we have to learn how to properly love ourselves. It takes time. And we'll actually talk about that in another video. And if there's any other topics you guys want me to discuss, please leave in a comment below. But yeah, I think that's my take on the situation. I don't look at gold diggers as like bad people. I actually really respect their hustle, because in this day and age, in this time period, everybody is just kind of out for self. And as a woman, if you are more gentle and a more compassionate woman, and you really love with a genuine heart, sometimes you can get taken advantage of because of that nature that you have. But for women who do not operate from an emotional stance, they're coming at it from a financial stance. I get it, because you want to make sure you're walking out of your situation with something in hand. You don't want to walk out of your situation with a man empty-handed, because he definitely got to use and enjoy your body, which is what he came for in the first place 99.9% of the time. Versus you wanting something maybe a little bit more intimate, wanting something maybe more long lasting. You didn't get that because he's gone now, but he got what he came for in the beginning. So give me your opinions, guys. I'm so excited. If you like this video, please like. If you're feeling a kid, subscribe. We're gonna have a lot of conversations. We're gonna have a lot of different fun things to talk about. The girlfriends that I mentioned, I'm actually gonna bring them on this channel.